When I moved to Dubai, I only had $10,000 in liquid cash. One time we had an introduction for a guy and I messaged him again and he booked another call second time. I closed him on a corporate structure, which was $10,000. Literally 2 days after, I got a message from my friend, the manager. He was like, I sold him an apartment. First few months, $60,000 first commission for real estate. When you live in a country like Romania, which is like lower level of income, when you start making like $10,000 a month, you feel like you're a big shot because it's really cheap to live there. When I arrived to Dubai, I realized like, holy shit, I'm really poor. If you're a weak then it will break you. But if you are a bright individual that is motivated, you'll use this as fuel to reach your goals and your ambitions. What people don't understand is that some people call it luck. I call it preparation. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another vlog here in the beautiful Dubai. Look, this one is a little bit different. We are not going to show you any fancy cars or any flashy watches. This video is all about my personal experience. Been living in Dubai for 3 years now, and I will show you the pros, the cons from my personal opinion as a successful entrepreneur living here for some time. So yeah, I'm excited about this.
First of all, we'll know exactly the story behind your move, why you decided to move here, what is the reason, and for whom this video is. For people who want to move to Dubai or still they're thinking like, oh, maybe move, maybe don't. So let's see, and we'll start from the first question to you. Why you even decided to move out from Romania? Because Romania is a great country. But
look, for me it's easy. I came first time to Dubai 5 years ago during COVID in 2020, and immediately once I stepped the foot in Dubai, I got hit by the collective energy, which really it felt like it pushes you from behind to do more. Plus, you know, when you live in a country like Romania, which is like lower level of income, when you start making like $10,000 a month, you feel like you're a big shot because it's really cheap to live there. You feel like you're the king of the hill, right? But when I arrived to Dubai, I realized like, holy shit, I'm really poor. And first of all, the collective energy hit me from the beginning. As I told you, it feels like everybody's doing something, people are motivated. You are surrounded by all this luxury and opulence, which it can either break you or either help you, right? If you are a weak then it will break you because you'll feel like small. But if you are a bright individual that is motivated, you'll use this as fuel to reach your goals and your ambitions. So that's exactly what happened to me. My first interaction with Dubai 2020 came for COVID 10 days. Dubai was one of the few places in the world which was open for tourists. It was a good time here. Shortly after I started the business here remotely, I remember the first thing when I came here, I tried to rent like a Lamborghini. Literally, I was not able for 10 days to find any Lamborghini Huracan to rent, which is insane to me. Imagine a place like Dubai where there's so many supercars, you cannot rent a Lamborghini. So that for me was the first hint that maybe I should consider starting a supercar rental business. Such a high demand. That was my first experience with Dubai and one of the reasons why I moved here in the first place.
what was the urge behind moving? Because a lot of people are living in for example, Romania or in Europe, and they're still thinking, oh, I will move in the next 6 months. Oh, I'll move in the next year.
Well,
and they never move.
To be completely fair, it took me like 2 years from 2020 to actually move here, and it's mainly because back in Romania, I already had businesses, things going on. So it took a little bit of time for me to make the shift, you know, because
You have multiple businesses.
yeah, I had multiple businesses in Romania. I want to wind them down first of all. And it also took me like 2 years to make sure that I feel safe. I feel like I'm stable now, I can make the move. But what I can tell you from my personal experience, once I made the move, everything skyrocketed for me. And it makes sense because Dubai is the place, the land of opportunities, I like to call it, right? I don't care what you think about your country where you live. I guarantee you there's no other place currently like Dubai in terms of opportunities. 90% of the people that live here, they're expats, so they come with the same thought in mind. They're ambitious people, motivated from the low class to like the high, ultra high net worth individuals. They all come with the same thought in mind, which is to either enjoy their world or to make more money and do business. Exactly. It's the whole package, if you ask me. It's not only about the opportunity, it's about the zero tax, it's about the safety, it's about the weather, it's about the entertainment level. There's no place in the world where you can go skydiving in the morning, then in the afternoon go with the ski jet, in the evening go to the desert to do buggy.
Let's come back to the time when you just landed to Dubai. What was happening in the first like 1 to 6 months of your life?
When I moved to Dubai, I only had $10,000 in liquid cash. However, I did have a business that was making like $10,000-$20,000 a month revenue, not profit. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a chance. Whatever will happen, will happen. I have $10,000. I can sustain myself for like 3 months. If something happens with the business and things don't work out, then worst case scenario, I will work as a real estate agent. That was my plan, okay?
Really?
So I did had like a plan B in case something happened, but for sure, I didn't have a plan to come back to Romania.
It was intuition, right?
Exactly. I literally 1 year before I moved here, I isolated myself in my apartment in Romania and I just work on my business, just train, work. That was it. So once I made the move, I stayed at the hotel for 3 months. Luckily, I moved here during summer, so I was just paying like $2,000 a month for a really nice hotel room.
Where you was living?
I was living in Business Bay, the first collection, but for me it was convenient because they was changing the sheets, doing all this stuff, and I just can focus on my business. When I moved to Dubai, I always had this thing in my mind, which is you need to open a real estate company. I don't know why. I just felt it. Because it was like a startup. I mean, we didn't have employees or anything. It was just me with Madalena. I was taking the sales calls for corporate services because that's our core business. So we was helping people move to Dubai, set up their companies, obtain residency. But I was taking the sales calls. So I remember one time we had an introduction for a guy. It was a referral, but he didn't show up to the first call. And I was really pissed because remember I was like in scarcity, like I don't know if I have enough resources to live here and so on. But one day I said, okay, let me try again. And I messaged him again and he booked another call second time. And when the time came to have the call with him, I was like, you know what, maybe
I'm tired.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't take this call. Maybe this motherfucker won't show up. Maybe he's just wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I will take the call. So I jumped on the call. In the 20 minutes that we had together, I closed him on a corporate structure, which was $10,000. He sent the money instantly. At the end of the call, he told me that he wants to come to Dubai because he wants to invest in real estate. And I said, okay, it's interesting. I didn't tell him I have my own company because I just set up my own company, right? But I did know one guy. He used to work as like a senior level manager for one of the biggest real estate developers in Dubai for hotels. Remember I told you when I moved to Dubai, I stayed at the first collection?
Yes.
It's the same developer behind the first collection. I met one of the managers there and I knew I had the contact there. So at the end of the call, I told the guy, look, if you want to invest in real estate in Dubai, I have a friend. He's a manager. He can give you the best deals in real estate, okay? So I connected them together. Didn't expect anything, to be honest with you. Literally 2 days after, I got a message from my friend, the manager. He was like, I sold him an apartment. I said, okay, how much he paid? $800,000. Okay, how much is my commission? $60,000.
60?
$60,000 first commission for real estate. Imagine I was
In the first 6 months of your life in Dubai?
the first few months, 2-3 months.
What the?
Literally almost the same time when I set up my real estate agency. Then maybe a few weeks passed, he messaged me again. He bought another apartment. How much? $800,000. How much is my commission? $60K. Literally since then, maybe for 1.5 years, the guy kept buying 1 or 2 apartments every single month. So in total, him alone, as I said, almost $1 million in commission. But this is a crazy story about you just have to do it, you know? You just have to meet the universe halfway, as they say.
You did so much work before this happened. I think you was prepared for this opportunity.
It's really interesting. And fast forward to today, and this is not to brag or anything, just to understand how far we came. Like the real estate alone, I think we closed $500 million dirhams worth of deals since then, which even more than that, I think. Which that alone bring us like almost 8 figures. So what people don't understand is that some people call it luck. I call it preparation. Literally 1 year before I moved to Dubai, I was dreaming, living, breathing, speaking with people about moving to Dubai. I feel like it's also a lot of mental game preparation. I remember to this day when I was waking up in the morning, living in my apartment in Romania, and I was doing cardio in the morning with the bicycle, and I was literally, you know, listening to music and meditating and using the law of attraction, you know, dreaming, visualizing myself driving a Bentley in Dubai and wearing the nice watches and doing all those things. I swear to God, and fast forward years after, I have everything I ever dreamed. So I think also a big part is about the spirituality. People, I feel like they underplay this, but it's very important about energy, mindset, law of attraction, and everything else, you know. I did years of preparation before in terms of, you know, reading books, meditating. I literally meditated for like 6-7 years straight, every single morning, not skipping anymore. Literally, I don't need to meditate anymore because I get into that state automatically in the flow. But before I used to do it, so it's a lot of work that is behind the curtains. But from an outsider perspective, it might seem like, oh, he got lucky. No, I would say like, I put in the work. I worked a lot, you know. So I had a couple of like failed businesses. I had literally for 2 years straight working 1 year on different projects. One in real life, one in crypto. For 1 year straight, no compensation, no anything, and failed businesses, you know. But then everything paid off because all the experience I was able to use it to the new business.
Your life completely changed in 2-3 months. So one main decision was what?
To move to Dubai.
To move to Dubai.
I had 100% trust in my ability and I knew that no matter what, I will never end up on the streets, because I knew I had skills, right? I knew how to speak with people, I had sales skills, I knew to convince people, I even had a network, so I knew that anything happens, I will sell something to them, I don't know, I will do something. So it's that faith gives you the security to make the leap and actually move. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, so you can stay updated with future content. We'll try and make some more of those videos where we can bring value to you from our perspective.
Ask your question in the comments, so we'll take your questions and we'll answer to your questions so you can grow with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Subscribe to the channel, like this video, watch this video from your left, and see you in the next one.